So what do you think of the Super League? What a shy, wasn't it? Sure, look, at least it's finished now, you know? Yeah, I agree with you. You hit the nail on the head there, to be fair. Welcome back to the Premier League verdict. Hello guys, how are we getting on? My name is Aaron Kelly, and what an incredible last 24 hours it has been. Only a couple of days ago I uploaded a very down and upset and depressed video to this channel. Probably the most depressed video that you're ever likely to see on this channel. After 12 clubs, including my own that I support and have supported since I was a very small child, Chelsea FC, agreed to join this plastic European Super League started by the owners of the 12 clubs. But the incredible news hit us yesterday before Chelsea kicked off with Brighton that Chelsea were the first club to pull out of the European Super League, and they were closely joined by Manchester City, and now all 6 English clubs have put out a statement basically confirming to us that they will no longer be competing in the European Super League, lads. It's honestly, genuinely, I was down playing a bit of ball down the garden with some of my younger siblings, and my dad came out and told me the breaking news. Chelsea had pulled out of the deal, had pulled out of the Super League. I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say it's the best news I've ever received as a Chelsea fan. Like, I was genuinely so happy, so over the moon. I was going into last night's game with Brighton really pessimistic, really kind of thinking, what's the point in us even playing this game? Liverpool fans were the same when they kicked off against Leeds on Monday night. But that was all laid to rest, and it was thanks to some incredible protests outside Stamford Bridge. I'm going to be using I'm going to be overlaying a few clips from Thogden's video yesterday, because if you haven't seen the full video, lads, I do suggest you go watch it. I'll leave it in the description. It was an unbelievable video from Thogden. Basically, he went to the protests outside Stamford Bridge. Like, it was unbelievable scenes. It was unbelievable to see this amount of football supporters coming into the general vicinity of each other after the year that we've had. The noise they made, hearing Chelsea chants absolutely flying up and down Fulham Road. Then Petr Cech comes out to address the Chelsea fans because they were blocking the road, essentially. The Chelsea bus couldn't get into the stadium, which, you know, seeing as though there was a Premier League game last night at Stamford Bridge between Chelsea and Brighton, kind of a big problem if the two buses can't get into the fucking stadium. The power of the fans really came through, and hearing that news and seeing the reaction of the fans once the news broke that Chelsea will no longer be competing in this European Super League, genuinely moment of the year so far. Moment of the fucking year so far. Like, it was absolutely unbelievable. Actually, low-key kind of emotional, to be quite honest with you, because we all kind of thought, and we were all kind of sold on the fact that football was about to be scrapped and thrown in the bin, basically, for this franchise football, and that it was all going to be Americanized, and we weren't going to see the game we love with the clubs that we love in the same way ever again. Positivity and just greatness comes from the fans, and the incredible lengths fans will go to. It wasn't just Chelsea fans. As I mentioned, Thogden was there last night. He's obviously not a Chelsea fan. There was not just Chelsea fans protesting outside Stamford Bridge last night, and that's what the last 24 hours, 48 hours has brought, is fans from every single club, rivalries put aside, everybody coming together to fight for this greater good. And we've prevailed. We've done it. Everybody who put out a video, everybody who tweeted, everybody who put out an Instagram story, everybody who replied to people in comment sections of Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, and all the fans that turned up to Stamford Bridge last night to make their voices heard. Honestly, if I was from the UK myself, I genuinely would have went. We've saved football for now, but there is still so much wrong and so much corruption in football. I would like to think that this effect that the fans have shown, you know, we've showed that influence that we have as fans all around the world. If we can come together and start tackling really massive issues such as racism. Patrick Bamford mentioned it the other night after his interview after the Leeds-Liverpool match. You know, issues like that. If we can fully stomp that out of the game with the power of togetherness and the power of every single fan coming together as one to fight this issue, we might just be able to do it. Obviously, apart from racism, there's also lots of other issues in football that need to be resolved as well. I actually seen Mark Goldbridge's video the other day after the Super League was announced, talking about how well the Bundesliga clubs are run. Obviously, Bayern Munich, Dortmund, Leipzig all, rejected the opportunity to play in the Super League, and mainly because fans have such a big say over them clubs. I think for the fans altogether own like over 50% of all these clubs or something along those lines. I think that is probably the approach that the English teams need to take now, because it's quite clear that your John W. Henrys, your Glazers, Stan Kroenke don't know how to run a football club and don't know what running a football club and owning a football club means to the fans. The job is not done. These rich, greedy, selfish owners need to be removed from these clubs as soon as possible. Roman Abramovich has done incredible stuff for my club, Chelsea. That is something that cannot be denied. The rumours are that himself and Sheikh Mansour, the owner of Manchester City, didn't want to or weren't 100% comfortable with joining the Super League, with both of them kind of being last minute kind of entries into the league and them kind of feeling forced into it, pushed back into a corner that they didn't really want to do it. That's not really an excuse for me. It does give them a little bit more leeway over, say, the John W. Henrys and the Glazers that were very much the driving force of this whole operation. But I'm glad to see Roman seen the errors of his ways and seen the misjudgment and made Chelsea the first club to pull out of this horrific arrangement. I think a lot of Chelsea fans, I still don't know really my stance on it yet. I think a lot of Chelsea fans will be willing to forgive Roman Abramovich, but I know a lot of Chelsea fans will not be able to because of what he's tried to do. And I know he's not been the driving force behind it, as I said, but he still tried to do it, whether he wanted to or not. That's the change that I want to see from football clubs. Fans given more of a say. And it's clear to see that the fans know what's right for these clubs. Obviously. The fans are the embodiment of what's great about football. I still think the 6 clubs should be punished in some regard. I don't know what that punishment should be yet, if I'm being honest. Is it going to be a points deduction? Is it going to be being banned from the Champions League? I don't really know. But it's going to be interesting to find out nonetheless. I guess to round off this video, again, I'm going to say thank you to everybody that protested, everybody that stood outside Stamford Bridge last night, everybody that put something out on social media. And I've also got to say a massive well done to the football pundits. I don't give them an awful lot of credit a lot of the time, but Gary Neville in particular was the leader I think we all needed, the voice that we all needed in spearheading this collapse of the European Super League. So my respect for Gary Neville has gone way up as well. Also for Jose Mourinho, who has lost his job. Obviously I haven't even mentioned that yet because there's been so much news. Jose Mourinho lost his job just after I finished recording my video on Monday, with a lot of reports suggesting that he kicked up a fuss over the whole Super League thing when he came into work on Monday morning, and the Spurs bosses and the Spurs board weren't having it and got rid of him on the spot. And that honestly seems like the most believable outcome for Jose Mourinho's fate for me, because you don't sack a manager, especially not Jose Mourinho, who's a specialist in winning. You don't sack Jose Mourinho the week of a cup final, the biggest day in the club's history for a long, long time, Tottenham Hotspur. That doesn't happen just because form is bad. If he hadn't kicked up a storm, they would have at least given him until after the Carabao Cup final. I'm convinced of that. But yeah, no, we did it, lads. We did it. Football is saved. And this channel is saved. Lads, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you are new. I'm proud of us, lads. We did it. I'll catch you next time. Good luck. I've been trying to find a